Music roll, cornfield, wind sways. Ford Dodge, Chevrolet, rust bucket still plays. Everything gets dirty trying to pave that way. I ain't never had a handout, never had a pick me up. Budweiser beer bottles breaking in my pickup truck. Chip on my shoulder, rocking me.
How's it going, everybody? Flint from Flint and Steel Survival bringing you a video response today for the Bristol Prepper. He was inquiring about what everybody's favorite pieces of modified gear are. So I have a couple things. It took me a while to think of them. I mod gear all the time, but I couldn't think of specific examples. So first off, I'm going to cut this video in two parts so I can show you this first, and then I'll do more of a tabletop of the other stuff. But the Dragon Lady, and if you haven't subscribed to her already or gone and checked out her channel, please go do it. Great channel, both of those. So I'll link them in the description below as usual. She wanted to see, because I commented on a video saying I had the same SOG tomahawk as her, and she was saying she couldn't find a good way to carry it because I told her I made a sling for it, and she asked how I did it, and I just said paracord. So I'm going to show you today how I did it. It's not really special. It's just one single piece of paracord, but the way I loop it around my body is what makes it really cool to me, I guess. So I'll take it off real quick. Here's my SOG tomahawk. This is what I slip in most of my kits because it's nice, lightweight, and small. If I'm going to do a lot of processing wood, I'm definitely not going to pick this first. But it's definitely a capable option for most small tasks and most splitting. I've thrown it a couple times. Me and a buddy went out and threw it at this dead tree, and he threw it straight to a rock and chipped up the blade, jacked up the handle, but I was able to sharpen it out no problem. It's also got a nice lanyard loop if you want to do a wrist lanyard, but that always just got in the way, especially how I carry this. So it's a single piece of paracord looped through the 4 eyelets as shown. It's really long because I'm a bigger guy. I'm going to have to loop this around my body, so obviously I got to have it long. It's probably, I don't know, 5.5 feet of paracord, maybe a little more. But what you do is you start with it, you have to start with it backwards. I always forget that. So facing back to your body, you're going to pull it up to about here and loop it around your other arm. I don't know if you guys can see this, so that it's right here. Now you're going to grab this part and twist it. Alright, and then you got to get this arm through it like that. So you twist it, put your arm through it so that it sits on you like a shoulder rig for a gun. I don't know if any of you guys have seen that. My 38 has a shoulder rig, and it sits on this side, so this would be reverse. But if I'm carrying it like that, all it has around this side of your body is a strap that goes under your arm and across to hold it tight. So that's all it is. The knot sometimes sits right under your armpit, but I don't notice it because it's a little forward. But when I'm carrying a belt kit, like a leather pouch on my side, a knife, I can even hold a gun, just kick this a little bit back, just adjust the straps, and it hangs off just fine. So this would be after I drop my kit somewhere and want to just go play around with my tomahawk. I'll loop this on. It's just a way to carry it a little more comfortable for me. So hold on, everybody, count to 3, and I'll be back with a tabletop review of the rest of the stuff I got. You know, I really ended up liking this angle, so we're going to keep it, especially since some of these items are bigger. So first off, I made a couple spears a little while back, just for fun. This is one of the 3-pack of Pauladine kitchen knives that I bought. One of them is still in our kitchen. This one, my wife wanted a glaive when I made my first spear, so I made her something that she could, you know, call a glaive. It's close. I mean, it's got a big cutting edge and a very sharp point. So it would be good for slashing or stabbing. All it is a dowel split. I put some bolts through it to keep the knife steady. And you can see the lump of the knife. It wouldn't fit all the way in the dowel. So I just left it on there. It's not worth grinding off. Plus, it gives you a nice handhold if you were going to use it for anything other than trying to keep somebody... Man, Jackson's playing with a ball and he knocked over a spear. Good thing it's the one with the sheath on it. So this is the second one I made. I don't know, I'm showing them out of order. Just the first one I grabbed. So this one turned out real cool. So that's technically hers. This is the first one I made. I even put some feathers on for ornament. But I took this outside when we first got our house and wanted to throw it just to see if it worked. And I didn't have this seated very far in. This was a folding knife blade. And so it's only probably, I don't know, ½ inch to an inch in. And I liquid nailed it. I mean, this was a really poor attempt, I guess. But now it kind of wobbles back and forth a little. I don't know if you guys can see that. So, not the best, but it was definitely a first attempt. I really like the handle I put on it, though. It's got a lot of grip on it, a couple notches. My dog literally just stole my spear. Look. Jackson! Jackson! What are you doing? You want a spear, too? Like I said, that's the one with the sheath on it. Let me grab that from him real quick. And then this is the last one I made. This one's probably the most usable. It's got a nice big bolt through it. It's not moving anywhere. It's got a nice knob at the end to keep your grip on it. Now he's pissed off. He wants it. So, all nice and sharp. And it was just something I was trying out, you know. Maybe one day it'll come in handy to know how to turn a knife into a spear the solid way, not like just mounting it to a stick. Splitting it, bolting it in. So those are the three. And then, like I said, this last one that my dog stole has the sheath that came with this. This was a fixed blade that I ended up busting the handle scale on. So I just turned it into a spear for fun. I put shot cord through the belt loop and tie it on. So I guess this would be the one I would take if I had to attach it to a pack and go somewhere. But I just wanted to show you guys those real quick. Now Jackson's trying to hide a bone over there. Little distracting guy. This is my meat cleaver hatchet that Tom Chitwood built. I got it through trade from Kirk Aber. I still don't know that man, I'm sorry. I need to get with him and clarify because I've shouted him out twice I think now, and I don't know what it is. So all he did was take a big chunk of metal out of here, gave it a nice grind, thinned it out a bit, and then the person that had it between Kirk and Tom, who this was originally made for, who will remain nameless in this video, tried to put a force patina on it. It didn't turn out very good, so I've got most of it off. The only thing I've used this for is I tested it on some dead fallout in my yard. We had a couple storms that knocked a whole bunch of dead limbs out of my tree, so I went and kind of chopped out a bigger piece. This thing's awesome. I need to make a real nice sheath for it, and I'll probably do a cross-jaw carry just like I did with that tomahawk, but it's definitely going to be a sturdier system to mount it on, because this is much heavier. But this is a sick piece of gear. It's one of a kind. No one else is going to have this. I offered it up to Tom first as soon as I got it. I wanted to give him a chance to get it back. I was going to give it to him free. All he would have had to do is send me his address, because I wanted him to have a chance at getting this back in case he wanted it to pass on to his kids or something, because he was really kind of wronged on this deal. So I wanted to give him that first shot because he deserves it. But I tell you what, Tom, let me keep this. I absolutely love it. I've tried it out just the once because it doesn't have a sheath or any way to carry it. But as soon as I get that going, this thing is going to be in my bushcraft kit, no doubt. This is probably the better hatchet I've ever seen used. And the thinness of the blade makes it just bite into wood like nobody's business. Another mod that this is just going to be to help anybody that has this. So, gear nut, ferro rod, lighter combo. I got this from Frog Tax in a kit a long time ago. And like I said, none of this was my design. None of it was my idea. I got all this pre-done by Gear Nut. He's a great Kydex worker. Great dude. Hit him up if you need some of these. I guarantee you he'll hook you up. His prices are reasonable too. All I did to it that I'm going to mention is I put a Kydex belt loop on it so that it makes it easier to carry. When you're not putting it in a kit, you don't want to slide it in your pocket. Just looping this to your belt loop, it goes real good with a fixed blade knife next to it. It's a perfect little walk in the woods kind of fire starting kit. It would be good to combine it with like an Altoids tin full of tinder material. something like that, and that would be all that you'd need really for a day out in the woods to make fires, because you've got your lighter and then your ferro rod. And I apologize, Josh, I did change the pink lighter for a red one because red's my color. Red or orange, and I didn't see an orange, so I picked the red. And then finally, oh, I left it over here. The mod I did to the original sheath. This is the original sheath that a Buck 110 comes in. You'll notice I cut the top flap off, and then I popped the button out and put this buffalo nickel button in it instead. Take the knife out real quick. No mods to the knife. So this is the original sheath. I didn't like the flap. I hate that. So this is a lot more accessible. I keep it on my belt right side like this. This is a long 13 hair ferro rod, and I made a loop for that. All I did was sew it on through the original stitching holes. They were big enough that I could squeeze more next to it, and then just pop 2 rivets in to make the loop, and this thing fits on perfect. And this is a really good combo together. The Buck 110 does have some struggles striking ferro rods. I kind of hit the spine a little bit again to see if I could get it sharper, because it is a little bit rounded up top, so it doesn't have that clean edge that we're looking for with a striker. But this kit is really cool. I just like carrying it. So that's all I have right here setting that I can show you for mods. I'm always modding something, so if I remember one that's real cool, I'll put an addendum to this video or another video, something like that. So thanks everybody for watching. I appreciate your time. Go check out Dragon Lady. Please go check out Bristol Prepper. And everybody have a good one. Have a good weekend. I'll try to do a couple more videos. No promises though. I still have those Tinder kits to finish up for Kelton and Chris. I got Dragon Lady hooked up. I found one of my last runs of Tinder kits I did around Christmas time. I found an extra one, and so you'll see that over on her channel as soon as I make it to a post office. Once again, no promises. I'll try for the start of next week, but with my shift and as busy as we've been and as tired as I get nowadays when I get home from work, like I said, no promises what day, but it'll definitely be out. So thanks everybody for watching. Bye.